What's up everyone, my name's Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon Radical Red and today's challenge will be, can we beat Pokemon Radical Red using only KAMADO'S team? KAMADO'S team? Is the guy at the end of the game in Pokemon Legends Arceus that beats you down. Yeah, a little spoiler, but you guys didn't know by now, it's your fault. But he is the leader and commander of the main camp, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think it's the Galactic team, something like that. His team is pretty varied by what it is, and unfortunately Radical Red has not been updated, so we cannot use any of the new Hisuian form Pokemon, so we have to wait until then. But for now, we can just swap out the Hisuian forms for the regular forms because it's basically like that. The team consists of 7 different Pokemon, including Ursaring, Heracross, the new Ursaring, Hisuian Ursaring, Heracross, Clefable, Hisuian Bravery, Golem, and Probopass. A weird mixture of teams that you fight out throughout the end of the game and the post game. So we're gonna use all those Pokemon are available to us in our Radical Red run. We're not gonna be playing on hardcore mode on this version. If you guys want me to do some hardcore modes on Radical Red once again, just leave in the comments and let me know. And as well, while you're down there, please don't forget to leave a like and support the channel. We're bringing back some Radical Red runs because I don't know, it's fun to play some different games besides hardcore Nuzlocke all the time. And as well, drop a comment because each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So here are the comments I picked up for this challenge video. If you guys want to be picked after a Pokemon in my future challenge videos, just drop in comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And also, please subscribe to the channel. It will greatly mean a lot to me as we are punching up to like 33,000 subs. Something like that. You guys have been supporting the channel a lot lately and I appreciate that. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. It will mean a lot to me. It's kind of surreal to me because growing up, I always watch these YouTubers and they always ask for likes, and now somehow I ended in the same position where I'm asking for the same amount of like goals. It's kind of like, oh, it's surreal, you know. Anyways, let's get into the challenge video itself. There's obviously none of KAMADO'S Pokemon as a starter, so we have to play through the tutorial. Once we actually enter Diglett's Cave, it's gonna be the first area where we are able to catch some of his Pokemon. First Pokemon we're gonna end up catching is gonna be Geodude, which I don't know why he has Golem. It's not even like any special Golem, it's just a random Golem, but he has a Golem on his team. I'm gonna pop it in there. It takes a few tries. I don't know why it took so many tries to catch a Geodude. As we also continue to search in Diglett's Cave for another Pokemon of his, there is a 1% chance we find ourselves a Nosepass, and it actually took me a little bit to find him. It took like 10 minutes to find a Nosepass in here, but we end up finding it. We're in Dex Nevit, so we can catch another one. And next up, we're gonna head into the first mini boss of the game. We're gonna face off against Faulkner, and I really thought I messed this battle up by throwing around my Nosepass because I was like, oh, Nosepass is dead. I'm just gonna press random buttons and just see how it goes. Sometimes it actually works in Radical Red if you just press random buttons and you end up winning. We actually beat Faulkner by just pressing rollout on accident, but we end up beating Faulkner and we can move on into the first gym of the game. Now, I don't say that with too much excitement because this gym took a toll on me. It took me a good 45 minutes in Radical Red to beat it down, and point out some specific battles that took me a very long time. This is one of them. This took me 45 minutes to beat, and it was very annoying because I couldn't find out what was the right setup. I have a Geodude and a Nosepass. Both of them are very weak to ground. Brock also has a Vulpix that has hidden power that's, I think, grass or something, that is very annoying. So obviously we are not in a good position to face off against him. But eventually, I switched up the positioning in when I'm facing him, and we face out Brock, and we started the battle against his Geodude using our own Geodude. But we started using Rock Polish to outspeed his other Pokemon. So we're going to Rock Polish up, and then his Geodude is going to self-destruct. Give ourselves a free 1-up victory. Magnitude will one-shot his Vulpix since I outspeed it. And luckily, I can survive the Onix's Bulldoze. And since my speed is all the way up, I just need a high magnitude to knock out the Onix. And luckily, I do that. And his final Pokemon will be an Arcan, which I can just roll out. We beat Brock. Was it worth the 45 minutes? No, I feel like I should have just done a solo run at this point. But we're going with Radical Red this time. Anyways, we're going to go into Mount Moon once we beat Brock. We have new access to new routes. We get ourselves a Teddy Ursa, which is pretty nice. And also, we get ourselves a Clefairy. Put that on the team, so 2 more members are on the team for now. However, we're not going to evolve the Clefairy until we get it up to like 27, and then we'll evolve it. We're trying to get all the moves before, you know, it doesn't learn any moves when it levels up. From there though, we're going to speed through the rest of the routes in Mount Moon and Cerulean City. Super simple until we have to fight against the next gym. The next gym in the game will be against Misty, and again, this is the second of the 3 fights that are very, very difficult with this team. Against Misty, her team is just so strong and so bulky that none of my Pokemon do enough damage, and I just end up losing. more and more. There's a lot of attempts that go into this. This took longer than Brock's because I just couldn't beat the Starmie. If I do a status on it, it has natural cure. It switches out and then removes natural cure and beats down the rest of my team. So obviously I have a lot of trouble facing off against the Starmie because 2 of my Pokemon are rock types. The other one's a Teddy Ursa. So obviously it's not going to be the easiest fight against him. But we're going to start the fight against Misty. Starting off with our Clefable. Clefable was able to 1v1 the Frogadier. If it gets Cube Charm, it's actually better for us. But we're able to Draining Kiss and knock out the Frogadier. And then the Floatzel will come out next. Luckily I land a Sing. I'm able to Wish and Draining Kiss it down. And at this point, I know it's going to wake up. So I decided to switch out. I should have switched out into my Graveler, but I stacked my Nosepass so I can switch out to my Graveler to self-destruct, knock out the Floatzel. So we don't have to deal with that. Next up, we're going to switch out into our Clefable. Now, Clefable needs to Sing this, and sometimes it actually doesn't have Natural Cure. It's like a chance it won't have Natural Cure. It switch in between Analytic and Natural Cure, which Natural Cure is more dangerous in my opinion. I'm just trying to put it to sleep, get my HP back up, eventually switch out to my Teddy Ursa, and then predict the Lantern coming in and switch back into my Clefable. And at this point, I'm able to get some damage onto it as it knocks me out, which is fine because my Teddy Ursa could come out next. Remember the first Bulldoze we did to it? We can outspeed it, Bulldoze it, and get a Wish on ourselves, and then we can knock out the Lantern and 2-shot the Starmie to knock it out. Luckily, it stays asleep. And we end up beating Misty for the second gym badge of the game. Now next up, we're going to face off against Brendan. It's a throwaway fight. I mean, luckily we got Q Charm on it, but it's just a random fight. We get some lucky eggs after this fight, and then we can move on to the next gym. Now the next gym I didn't beat in my first try, but it's a lot easier than the rest of the gyms. It's against Lieutenant Surge. It's the third gym badge of the game, and it is electric type gym. So we're going to start the battle against Lieutenant Surge using our Ursaring. We're going to Bulldoze with a Soft Sand on it to 3-shot the Pincurchin. There's no easy way to beat him, but that's about it. And then we're going to sack, unfortunately, our Ursaring with a Body Slam into the Vigavolt as it knocks me out. It's fine. It's all fine. Switch out to my Clefable. It's actually going to Volt Switch out into the Alolan Raichu, which is going to try to set up on me. I put it to sleep. Switch out to my Graveler, and that's the end of the Raichu. So, pretty easy. He's going to switch back out to his Vigavolt as my Clefable will come out and Draining Kiss, crit it, knock him out. We take it. Manectric comes out next. It's an electric type. I go to my ground type. We're in Magnitude it down. It does not kill him. He actually kills me, but it's fine because my Clefable can come out. It's going to Draining Kiss and knock out the Manectric for us. Clefable is so tanky. It's perfect. It's beautiful. Bolton comes out next. I've got to put it to sleep, and then I got to Draining Kiss, do enough chip damage to when it does knock me out, I can switch out to my Nosepass to Bulldoze and then end up finishing him off. And we get our third gym badge. Nothing too difficult out here, and luckily we didn't get flinch with the Thunder Thing. I was like, what? If I get flinch here, I lose, but luckily I didn't. Anyways, from there we're gonna go into the rock tunnel where we speed through it. There's nothing for us in here, no encounters or anything. There is the TM for Rock Slide, which we're gonna pick up, and then we can move on into Route 7 outside of Saffron City. There's a grass patch out here, and you can find yourselves a Rufflet. We cannot evolve it into a Hisuian Braviary, but so we're gonna put that on a team, and a Rufflet evolves at like 40 in this game. So, I mean, you know what? It works out. We have a Braviary for the next gym fight, which is gonna be against the grass gym leader, which is gonna be Erica, and we're gonna start the battle against her using it. She's gonna start the battle against us using a Rillaboom. That's gonna switch out into a Sudowoodo. I'm just gonna superpower it and knock it out super easily. And then his Rillaboom comes back out. I'm like, all good. Switch out to my Probopass and then double back into my Braviary to roost off all the damage. It's pretty free out here. And then I could actually commence hitting it down. I do 2-shot it or 4-shot it. Whatever, dual wing lead will knock him out. And then her next Pokemon will be a Meganium. As I switch out into my special defensive wall over here, I Thunder Wave, accidentally get the Venusaur, which actually works out for me. I switched out into my Golem, which I explode on it, and then it survived somehow. So, I don't know. Braviary will knock him out, but that was... I don't know how Explosion didn't work. She's gonna force out my Clefable against the Meganium and get a stat boost up. Luckily, I can live and attack and Thunder Wave it. Luckily, it didn't use Giga Drain or anything. I switch out into my Braviary, and Dual Wing Lead will knock out the Meganium and the Superior. Super simple, and we get the 4th gym badge of the game. And from there, we can go into the Team Rocket hideout, where we're just gonna clear him. We got very lucky though against this Kangaskhan. As you can see, he almost knocks out my Ursaring, but luckily Ursaring has Sucker Punch and ends up knocking him out. We survived with that very clutch Citrus Berry too, so we ended up beating Giovanni just a little barely. But from there, we could go into Lavender Town, clear through Lavender Tower, barely as well. I mean, we're just getting very close of losing, but we end up clearing both dungeons, and then we could get ourselves our next Pokemon. Our second to last Pokemon will be the Snorlax. Snorlax is on his team for some reason. I don't know why, but he has a Snorlax, so we're gonna put a Snorlax on our team and have that for free. Next up, we're gonna face off against our rival in Silphco. Clear him easily. Again, last Pokemon, but you know, we clear him easily, nothing too hard, and we also cleared through Giovanni very easily. As you can see, we got very lucky in the Sing landing, and he's staying asleep for 3 turns against the Poltegeist. And then luckily, you know, Garchomp doesn't set up too many times and destroy me. And but from there though, we are pretty clear to move on to the next gym of the game, where we're gonna face off against Saffron City's Sabrina. Sabrina is gonna be a double battle fight in the psychic terrain, psychic gym, all that. You guys don't see this too often, but I'm showing you some outtakes. When I lose a battle or I don't like the start of the battle, I kind of restart and then switch up the positionings of my Pokemon to have a better setup, so I can obviously clear through the game. So we're gonna face off against Sabrina, starting off with our Braviary and our Snorlax. We're gonna Sky Drop into the Indeedee to avoid any damage, and Heavy Slam will obviously outspeed the Hatterene and knock it out in one shot with a Muscle Band, obviously. And then the Indeedee is not able to hit my obviously Braviary in the sky, and I can switch out my Snorlax into my Probopass to just sack it at this point. Sky Drop, and unfortunately Drain Punch would knock out my Probopass, but I switch out into my Clefable next. Dual Wing Beat from my Braviary will knock out the Indeedee, which is nice, and then Moonblast, well, I thought I was going to do a little more, but Moonblast was not able to knock out the Conkeldurr, as I had to send out my Golem next. Golem's able to explode since it has 30 and could live an attack against the Gardevoir. And I outspeed the Conkeldurr. With an explosion, I'm able to knock out everyone on the field, and then the last 2 Pokemon of each team will come out, which Snorlax and Ursaring. We're going to target down the Crawdon because obviously Porygon is not going to be too big of a threat. It's going to Ice Beam down my Ursaring, which is fine. I'm able to Giga Impact, knock out the Crawdon, and now we can focus up on the Porygon. I decided to slack off using my Ursaring, and then we can Giga Impact and Body Slam into the Porygon to knock it out. And luckily we beat down Sabrina, and we get the 5th gym badge of the game. Yeah, the 5th gym badge of the game. And now we can move on into Fuchsia City, where we can clear through Brendan. Every time we beat Brendan, he gives us something pretty cool. So in this situation, we get the HM for Rock Smash, which will be useful later in catching Terrakion. And from there, we can go into the Safari Zone, catch ourselves our final Pokemon of our challenge, which is going to be a Heracross. Pretty nice. It's going to replace Ursaring, unfortunately. They kind of serve the same purpose. Very offensive, strong physical attack. It's just, I think Heracross is a little better and has a little better ability in Moxie. Here, I'm just going to fish up a bunch of Heart Scales so I could teach my Pokemon some egg moves that they don't have already. And also get some Bottle Caps and some Lucky Eggs from some Pelipper's and some Palutens from this area. And then using the Bottle Caps, we can switch up our abilities on certain Pokemon. Probopass with Levitate is actually broken because we just give it the Focus Sash, and it has 2 abilities essentially, Levitate and Sturdy, if we put a Focus Sash on it. Next up, we're going to face off against the 6th gym leader of the game. We're going to face off against Fuchsia City's Koga. He's not going to be the poison type gym leader. He's going to be a very mixed trainer, as he starts out with a Swellow. I'm going to start off the battle against him using my Probopass because it basically walls the Swellow. I'm able to Power Gem into his first Pokemon, which is going to be his Acelgor. The Acelgor misses his Focus Blast, and I'm able to knock him out pretty free. And my Probopass is pretty specially defensive, so I'm able to Thunder Wave into the Greninja and then switch out into my Clefable next. The Greninja is not able to do any sorts of damage to my Clefable, as you can see, and then Draining Kiss will sap up his HP, and then I'm pretty much at full HP at this point, and then it's going to switch out to his Toxicity. I'm like, switch out to my Ground type, because it's Electric Poison. I have a Ground type in the back. Unfortunately, it does get poison, but an Earthquake will knock him out easily. I mean, super simple here. Then he's going to switch out into his Dragapult, which unfortunately I have to sack my Golem, but I can switch out into my Clefable. Moonblast will one-shot the Dragapult easily, and then it's going to switch out to the Swellow, sack my Clefable, part of the game as I switch out into my Snorlax, which will Giga Impact, knock out the Swellow. I'm using Giga Impact like it's an actual good move, which is kind of funny, but Giga Impact is just fun to use. And at this point, it's just a Drapion left. I can just Close Combat using my Heracross, switch out so the defense drop doesn't matter, and then the Close Combat will finish the job. We had our 6th gym badge of the game, and it's actually pretty nice. From there, we're going to go into Seafoam Island and face off against Price. We're going to beat down Price and his stupid team and get a Choice Scarf from him. And then move on into Cinnabar Island, where we're going to face off against Jasmine, where we're going to get our Choice Band for free. Put that on like our Golem probably with Explosion. and it's gonna work out pretty nicely as we face off against May, and so it's a throwaway fight, nothing to do. And after we do beat May, we're gonna face off against the 7th gym leader of the game. We're gonna face off against Blaine. Blaine's giving me the fire type gym leader of the game. We're gonna start the battle against him using our golem with choice band on, and an earthquake choice banded golem outspeeds Torkoal, but also one shots him. And then he's gonna switch out to his Charizard next. He's gonna be Charizard wise, so I can't really stay in here. Switch out into my Probopass, which actually can stay in here, and Power Gem destroy him. Oh, it did not one shot him, but I mean, you get the basic. I switch out into my Choice Scarf Heracross, which will thief the Charizard, and then we knock out the Charizard at the very least. And then his Typhlosion comes out. Obviously, he's gonna have priority fire type moves. I switch out into my Snorlax. 2 high horsepowers will knock out the Typhlosion, as you can see. I get very lucky with him missing Focus Blast, but you know what? It's part of the game. Venusaur comes out. It's gonna knock out my poor Snorlax. I switch out into my Bird. Bird is going to knock him out. Wow, he actually does a lot of damage. Cinderace, love this Pokemon in Pokemon Unite. It's gonna knock me out, unfortunately. I switched out into my Golem. I don't know why I used Stone Edge, but okay. That was very risky for no reason, but I knock him out using Stone Edge, and then his Slumflora comes out next. He's gonna knock me out. I switch out into my Clefable next. No, I just went to the Heracross. Okay, I should have just went into the Clefable. Okay, well, it just died to life. Well, we beat the 7th gym leader. Well, that's all it is. From there, we're gonna go back into Saffron City. We're gonna show Chuck this Terrakion we caught, get our Focus Sash, and put that on our Probopass or something useful. And then we're gonna face off against this double battle against Archer and Ariana. This fight is pretty difficult, as you guys know. If you guys ever play hardcore mode, this is the most difficult fight in my opinion. Up there with, like, I don't know, the Lorelai's fight. The Elite Four is pretty hard. Our rival at the end is pretty hard. This fight is pretty hard. The fight with Giovanni is never very hard in my opinion, but this fight, it takes a toll on me. It's very annoying. I want to get minimum deaths on my Pokemon as possible because I could use them as sacks. Plan is to keep Heracross alive. It has a Choice Scarf and has Moxie on it, so it could basically sweep whenever it wants, and that's what I do at the end of the Archer fight and also at the end of the Ariana fight. Sucker Punch does not knock me out, and luckily we knock out the... oh, we almost knock out the Rhyperior. Golem will finish the job. Somehow Golem outspeeds something, but it is what it is. And from there, we can go face off against Giovanni. As I said earlier, Giovanni's fight is never too difficult. Clefable will knock out everything, and then it's gonna knock out my Clefable, and then I bring the Mewtwo up to the sky using my Bravery, and I mean, that's kind of funny. So we're gonna end up beating Giovanni very easily, and we can move on into the 8th gym batch of the game, where we face off against Claire. Claire is gonna be a mixed bag of a bunch of Dragon type Pokemon, so we're gonna start the battle against her using our Probopass. Probopass has a status move, so it's gonna go for Taunt on his first turn, and then Power Gem will knock out the Aerodactyl easily. I should have done the wave here, but it's a good thing I Volt Switch it and not let it get a KO on me. I switched out into my Golem, and then I can Earthquake and knock out the Magnera. And then it's going to switch out to the Dragonite next. I just decided, you know, sack my Probopass. I can't really do anything with it. I could possibly explode with my Golem later, so Golem could be useful later. I switch out to my Snorlax against the Dragonite. For some reason, it just wanted to Dragon Dance in front of me, gave me another Giga Impact, and it let me knock out the Dragonite. Duraludon comes out next. I can survive an attack pretty easily, and I got very close to knocking him out using my Snorlax, but unfortunately, Snorlax will go down. Luckily, I do have Heracross in the back. Close combat will knock out the Duraludon, and then now I can sack my Golem against the Naga and Adele. And then I decided to switch out into my Heracross to do some chip damage against the Naga and Adele. It will give him a Beast Boost, which I don't know if I like that, but it's plus speed, so it's not too bad. And then I can switch out into my Bravery, and then I could double into my Clefable because I know it's gonna switch out into Dragovish. I just gotta catch it with a Sing on the Dragovish, and then luckily it stays asleep, and then it'll go down to a Moonblast, and then the Naga will come out. It's gonna knock me out with using Sludge Wave. I'm able to go into my Bird and knock him out easily, and Claire goes down very easily. We get the 8th gym batch of the game, and then now we're gonna go into the second to last fight against our rival. Right before Victory Road, we're gonna clear the room very easily. Heracross Scarf is such a great combo because it gets an attack boost every time it knocks out something, so I think it's a sick combo. But we're gonna beat down our rival pretty easily, and we're also gonna beat down Brendan at the end. I'll just outplay him. Look at this, outplay. Heracross is a monster, and then we could go on into Victory Road, which is gonna be quite difficult. I mean, you just gotta get some items and then just take one battle at a time, and then you can head into the Pokemon League itself and face off against the Elite Four. Once we start off our Elite Four challenge, we're going to face off against Lorelei, and since we have 2 rock type Pokemon, we cannot beat down the water type team, so we have to face off against her ice type team, and her ice type team is just so much more annoying. This fight took me an hour and 30 minutes, just this one fight. There's 4 more fights after this fight, but to its credit, it's actually very difficult. It made me think a lot. It is the Dark Souls of Pokemon game. Anyways, we're gonna start off our good attempt, our final run against Lorelei. We're gonna start the battle using our Heracross and our Bravery. Very important things because we need both Pokemons. So firstly, we need Bravery to have the Focus Sash on to take a Blizzard from the Glaceon. We also need Heracross' Choice Scarf to Rock Slide, flinch down the Ninetales because we can't outspeed the Glaceon. It has the ability that boosts up its speed in Hail. So we need Rock Slide to flinch the Ninetales to avoid Aurora Veil, and then we can superpower into it using our bird with superpower and knock out the Glaceon at least. And then at that point, our bird will go down, switch out into a Clefable, and then Heracross is able to do another Rock Slide before it goes down to the Azumarill. So it's able to knock out the Ninetales, and then unfortunately Heracross goes down, but Azumarill will knock out our Heracross. We do a bunch of damage to the Azumarill, and then we can switch out into our Golem next. Golem is going to explode, immediately explode. I do some chip damage using Moonblast, but it's going to explode, knock out everything on the field, and then switch out to the last 2 Pokemon in Snorlax and Probopass. This took so long to Theory Craft and get the right positioning. Now I need to not choke. I need to Thunder Wave the Abomasnow. Hopefully it gets paralyzed or something. I am able to Heavy Slam down the Abomasnow, and then it doesn't knock me out. So I'm able to knock out the Abomasnow, and then I can't Giga Impact right away. I need to do some chip damage against the Rotom, force it to knock out my Probopass as I'm going for a Giga Impact. Luckily, I survive a Hydro Pump aimed at my Snorlax, and then I'm able to Giga Impact into the Rotom to knock him out and finish the dry streak of just losing all the battles. We end up beating Lorelei, and we can finally move on. It took so long. It took more time facing off against Lorelei and theory crafting what to do against Lorelei than beating the rest of the game. Like, the rest of the Elite Four took less time than that. So we're gonna face off against Bruno next in his next chamber, and this took 1 attempt. First attempt, I beat Bruno. I start off with my bird. I'm going to do Wing Beat. I missed. It's alright, whatever. I do Wing Beat once again. It's going into Exhaustion, which I'm like, it's getting Swords Dance. Go into my Golem. Golem can one-shot it using Earthquake. Great. The Conqueror will come out to Revenge Kill me, which is completely fine. Thought that through. I switched out into my Clefable. Luckily, it doesn't have Iron Head or something. I'm able to Moonblast, knock him out. Inferno comes out next. It's obviously going to taunt me, so I switched out into my bird. Do Wing Beat, finally would knock him out. And then it's going to switch out into his Mega Lucario. This Mega Lucario, in this team specifically, is the physical attacker one. It's not the special attacker one. So I decided to switch out into my Snorlax for some reason. Just take a close combat, I guess. I don't know. And then I can switch out to my Heracross, which also has a Scarf on. Close combat into his face to knock him out. And then his last 2 Pokemon will be a Como and Urshifu. I'm able to survive a Flash Cannon from the Como, and the Moonblast will one-shot him as the Urshifu comes out next. It's going to one-shot me. Completely fine. My bird comes out, is going to one-shot the Urshifu, and we beat Bruno on our first attempt, unlike Lorelei. Anyways, we can face off against Agatha next. Agatha's going to be the Ghost type Elite Four member. She started the battle against us using a Gengar, which is actually a Zoroark, so we're going to one-shot that thing. We're going to one-shot that thing because it has weak defense, and then it's going to switch out to his Aegislash, switch out into my Snorlax to get a heavy slam. Where's my... I didn't put Earthquake on it. Why didn't I put Earthquake on it? I put Protect on it because of the Lorelei fight and forgot to take it off, but Snorlax lost that fight because I'm a bad trainer. But I can switch out into my Golem next, Earthquake him eventually. Come on, take a Toxic and then Earthquake him, and then he's gonna switch out to Spectrier. I decided to go into my Unaware Clefable, which, I mean, doesn't matter if it gets set up or not. I could do anything to it. I decided to go for a Sing. It lands on the Gengar, fortunately. And then I can switch out into my Golem once again. And Golem is actually such a sick Pokemon. Earthquake knocks him out. Survive an attack from the Mega Gengar too. Spectrier would knock me out, gets a boost, but that's fine because I switch out to my Clefable, which again has Unaware, so doesn't really matter. I crit it and drop his special attack anyway, so I'm able to Moonblast, knocks him out. And then he's going to switch out to his Marshadow. Obviously, he's going to knock me out. Shadow Sneak will knock me out. I switch out into my Probopass. Might be a bad idea, but I know I can survive a hit because I have a Focus Sash on. I could Thunder Wave it and then switch out into my Bravery because I know she's going to Shadow Sneak me. Do Wing Beat will knock him out easily. 2 shots through his Focus Sash. And then his final Pokemon will be a Dark-type Silvally. Close combat from my Heracross will one-shot him, and we beat Agatha super easily. Now next up, we're going to face off against Lance. Lance is going to be the Dragon-type Elite Four member. We're going to start the battle against his Aerodactyl using my Heracross, which also has Bulk Up on it, so it forces him to use taunts. I'm able to Rock Tomb him, and then he's going to switch out. I know that because, you know, spent a little time redoing this fight. He's going to switch out to his Dialga. I decided to switch out into my Clefable to sing into the Melmetal, which is kind of funny. I'm able to land a Fire Blast as well, and then switch out into my Probopass for some reason. I don't know why I switched out to my Probopass, but I did. I definitely did. I guess I wanted to Thunder Wave him, but I don't think that's really worth it. I am able to Thunder Wave him and switch out into my Heracross, which I should have done in the first place, but I'm able to predict his switch into his Dragonite with a Rock Tomb, catch his Dragonite, and switch out into my Clefable, and then double into my Golem to catch the Melmetal. Earthquake will one-shot the Melmetal because I do have a Choice Band on, and then switch back out into my Heracross against the Aerodactyl. He finally gets his Stealth Rocks up, but I'm able to Rock Tomb, knock out his Aerodactyl. His next Pokemon will be a Dialga, which is not able to really touch my Clefable, which is funny. I'm able to catch the Dragovich with a Sing because of that, and Moonblast will knock him out. Luckily, he stays asleep. And then his last two Pokemon will be Dialga and also his Salamence. I'm able to put the Dialga to sleep, and then just put him down easily. I swear he has Flash Cannon or something to knock out my Clefable. I don't know. I swear he does. Anyways, I'm just going to keep Moonblasting, and then he's going to eventually switch out into his Dragonite, which I catch with a Moonblast, and at this point, he's basically done. I mean, he knocks me out with a dual Wing Beat, but I'm able to switch out into my Bird. Bird's going to survive an attack, and then knock him out. Salamence comes on next. I mean, he's obviously forced to hit me because he gave me an attack boost with Defiant, and then I can switch out to my Golem, which will explode onto the Salamence and knock him out. His final Pokemon will be Dialga. We outplay this Dialga. We Earthquake him. He's going to Roar Time into my Heracross, which will close combat, knock out the Dialga, and we end up beating Lance without too many issues. From there, we're going to face off against the final Elite Four member and the champion of the game. We're going to face off against our rival Gary. Gary's going to start the battle against us using Pheromosa. We're going to send out our Bird. We're going to bulk up right in front of it since we can take another close combat from it, and Dual Wing will knock him out. This is just to scare him, to force him into his Metagross. Once his Metagross comes out next, I switch out into my Probopass. Luckily enough, I am able to Thunder Wave and then get out. I gotta sack my Bird because I need a free switch into my Snorlax. Now, this Snorlax play was a little ballsy because he could have easily knocked me out. Luckily, he gets paralyzed 3 times in a row, and I'm able to Earthquake him down very easily. He's gonna switch out into his Groudon next, his Primal Groudon. I am going to Belly Drum right in front of him and proceed to destroy Groudon as he misses Precipice Blades. And then he's going to switch out to his Yveltal. His Yveltal will not be able to one-shot me as a Giga Impact will knock him out. And we are in a great position here. Darmanitan comes out, he's going to knock me out. Switch out to my Heracross. Get outplayed by the Eternatus. But it actually works for me as I switch out into my Probopass to avoid the poison move. And then survive a Flamethrower from it. Thunder Wave him, and then that's almost game. I get a Power Gem off on him as well. And at this point, I should have just waited my Golem and confirmed the victory. But it did not work like that as I'm switching into my Clefable to just sack him for some reason. Switch out into my Heracross next to get the close combat attack boost, which is unnecessary. And then he's going to switch out to his Darmanitan. He's going to Flare Blitz, knock me out, but he's Choice Banded into Flare Blitz, or Choice Scarf into Flare Blitz. And all I need to is land a Stone Edge. Land a Stone Edge. Land a Stone Edge! Land a Stone Edge. And we beat the champion of the game. So we end up beating Gary, and we end up beating Pokemon Radical Red 2.3 with only KAMADO'S team, whatever you call him. He is the chief commander of the Galactic research team, something like that. But we end up beating Radical Red with his team, and that was actually pretty fun. It's a long video, longer than usual. I think it's closer to 30 minutes. So I want to say thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. It means a lot to me that you guys stick around for this long. Yeah, you guys want me to do some more themed teams on Radical Red. I love doing them. And you know what? If they get more views than the solo run, I'll just do them more. You know, I love Pokemon Radical Red anyway. So anyways, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment down below some challenge ideas just like this one, subscribe, and also comment down some nicknames. It would mean a lot to me. And my name's been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day. I'm out. Peace.